Folks, I'm going to make this real simple. Strike is one of my favorite 15-minute games of all time. It is pound for pound one of the most fun games in my collection. Throwing dice, matching numbers, quick player elimination. You can play this all night at a con. You can play it all night with your family, open and close game night. It's on that level. But along came this game, Kabuto Sumo, and I started to see some movement in how I felt about this game when Kabuto Sumo came along. 15 to 30 minutes of pushing people around, eliminating players, and just having a good time. We're going to talk about this game today and why it deserves such great praise. Let's do it. Now they see they're pushing each other. Here we go. They're pushing each other. There we go. All right, let's do it. So when someone is a hype man in the intro, you got to think to yourself, man, come on, sell me on this thing or get out of here. I totally understand that, man. So I'm just going to explain this game to you. And it's really quick. It's very easy to learn. There's a little strategy to it, though, and that's where this fun comes in. So let's start with the theme. The theme is you're battling as bugs. There's sumo bugs, different types of bugs, insects, centipedes, beetles, wasps, things like that. And you're going to be fighting, trying to push your opponent off of the side. And you can play this 2, 3, or 4 player. You play it in 4 player, you play as a team. Now, what are you doing and what do these beetles and bugs have? They all have different abilities. They have different shapes that they're going to bring to the board, and I'm going to show you how they interact, but there's going to be a thing where you buy those pieces and then you can use them, and they all have different abilities that activate. So what you're really basically doing on your turn, and this is a 2-player setup. There's different setups for 3 and 4 player as well. And then you're also going to start out with these pieces. These pieces are small, medium, and large. You're going to start out with this set here, and if you play the Junior League version, you'll actually be able to have your own special ability early, your special pieces early, and then different pieces as well. And they have them for each character in the game. There's a lot of bugs in this game, so you have a nice little way to play with younger people, or just not have to explain a lot of rules. All right, so here we are. We're going to go ahead and take a turn here. What you're going to do is you're going to move this piece, and you can take it off, put it wherever you want to on the table, move it around. You're going to have to be able to move around the table, so I suggest you play on a smaller table where people don't have to reach. I have a gigantic table here. I'm going to talk about a solution for that. But you're going to just take this, and you'll push with 2 fingers, pushing forward like so. And then pieces will come off. Now you're only going to push to the edge here. It looks like I pushed a little further than I should. And these pieces that come off are yours. Any one of those that falls off in between turns, let's say you bump something, that goes away. But these pieces that I knocked off are mine. Now, if you don't have any pieces or you get knocked off, you lose the game. That's just important to know. If you don't have any more of these pieces and you're trying to play, you lose the game. But since I do have these, I have them for future turns, and I also have the ability to buy my special pieces. Notice that they're not available to you right away. You have to buy them. But this one right here, for example, I have my giant centipede, and it says pay 1 to 5 of these right here, and then I can exchange them. And I can exchange them for this many pieces of my little pincers, okay, just like a giant centipede. And by the way, they have bug facts on the back. They tell you about the actual the giant centipede, which has 22 pairs of legs and 2 sharp venomous claws on its head, known as the resembles. It will attempt to eat anything smaller than itself. All right, but you'll find out all those about all these bugs here, and there are plenty of them. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now I'm just going to take a turn with the dung beetle. That's right, this is their poo ball, but I have to earn it. Let's see here. So I've already kind of pushed that way. Maybe I want to go here, and I will use this piece as well. And what happens as you play this game, what you'll find out is there's some strategy in not even pushing anything off. It's just to get your way off, get yourself off the sides, things like that. But you are generally trying to make sure you get pieces off. Otherwise, well, you won't be able to go. But eventually what will happen is, let's say I push things off and I'm able to, it says, is the stool taken? It says, take 2 of your stack and then add 1 of these to your inventory. Now let's say I had 2 of these. And it says if I have a stack of 2 of these, then I can put this little poo ball in my inventory. And now I'll push this on. I'm just going to show you what these shapes kind of do. Because the contour of this shape, ooh, that didn't even do that much. That's probably because it was spread up. I should have probably used it on the other side. But it changes the kind of the setup of the game. And as you can see, these grooves kind of change how they interact as you go across. So this is one of the things that I really like about it. And now I'm going to use my claws. I'm going to turn in 1, 2, 3, 4 and push these in like that. So now my claws have slowly grooved my buddy out here on the side, and I get all these pieces. And some of these players will, some of the pieces as they fall off will come back to the characters. There are pieces that will replace your actual marker that you have right here. There are ones that activate abilities for stopping and being adjacent. So like, let's say the yellow player was gone and this was gone. If this was next to each other, then an ability would trigger. There's different shapes, as you can see. There's pincers right here. These pincers have an ability when you have players in them. There's just a whole bunch of little rules that they have, and all these characters are available to you. So you have all these different types of characters. They also have their Junior League version where you just get the pieces for them and their special ability. But I just like the wide variety that goes on in this game. Now, let's just break down some of the things that I don't necessarily like. You got to have a specific table for this because I have a wide table. All right, I have a very wide table. And I can even make it to a 4x4, but my son does have a hard time reaching for this thing. Now you can lift it and move it and whatnot. As you can see, stuff falls off the side. So I've come up with a solution for this. It is called a Lazy Susan, folks. You put this thing on here, and guess what? All your balance problems go away, because now what I can do is you can put it on this thing here, and now you have a solution right there. And you can spin this around, center it, good to go. Other things, this game can end really quickly. And it can end quickly because some people know the strategy of how these things work. And they can make you run out of stuff very quickly. 4-player games can be pretty rough. 4-player games can be pretty rough, even though they're teams and you're going back and forth. Sometimes you just get pushed off. And once one person gets pushed off, the other team just wins. So these victories can be so quick. And even though the game is not necessarily quick to set up until you know the setups, it's just kind of a bummer to lose so fast. I'm just trying to think of anything else. There are some rules in this game that are a little iffy, and it just has to do with how the powers interact with each other. And I think sometimes that can be a dud of an experience. Let's say 2 new players didn't know that, and then they play and they're like, which one of these triggers if I do this or that? That can be a thing as well. And it just has to do with the combos of the characters. But that's really about it. I like almost everything about this game. I love the fact that there's these different sizes and how they interact. I just love how those work, and their different abilities actually matter, and they give you something to work with strategy-wise. That's something I really appreciated. Like, they put more strategy into something that I didn't think had a lot of strategy. And then, as a matter of fact, I played this prototype in 2019, and it was just the discs at the time, if I remember correctly. But this right here, they took it to another level. The artwork is beautiful. I love the quality of the pieces. I also like that there's facts on here. My son happens to love the bugs in here. Good conversation about the bugs. So that was something that I like. And yeah, this is a very quick game. It's a quick game. You want to play it again. I know the setup really well for 2 and 3 players, so I can get the game going very, very fast. And that's really all you need to know. To me, this game is highly accessible. It's fun for family groups, any group, work groups for lunch. You can do anything with this game. It works for every crowd. I think this could stand next to some of your best family games, your best game night games, as an opener and closer, or just to fill time, just to have some fun. Because this is one of those games that can stay on your table all night for a couple hours easily. And you'd have a great time every time, just simply because there's so many of these different bugs and they interact differently, and the way the pieces just muck everything up. It's just so fun to play. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I give this game a 9. I think it is a fantastic experience. I love it. I love it. I love it. And hopefully you like it too, or you can disagree with me. I just think this game is special. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about this game. And also, let me know your favorite 15 to 30 minute game? I like to know those things. 15 to 30 minutes, because people are always looking for that stuff. We're getting close to the holidays. Let me know in the comments below. And with that, party people, thank you so much for your time. You have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me on MVM and let me blabber on. All right, take care.